YouTube has decided to not share my videos with everyone who subscribes. Please follow me on social media to stay up to date. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And back in 2015, when Netflix was really starting to emerge into the whole original content game, Kimmy Schmidt kind of came out of left field, right? Came out in I want to say mid 2015. With much fanfare. Everyone really loved it. I remember when I sat down and finally watched it, marathon the season, and then got my girlfriend to watch it before season 2 came out. Enjoyed season 2. Season 3 came and went, and now season 4 is almost upon us at the end of the month. And apparently, according to the Hollywood Reporter here, it's going to be the final season with talks of a wrap-up movie, which leads me to believe that Netflix is looking to exit out of the Kimmy Schmidt game, but they're also willing to give it a finale, right? A proper finale, which means that the season 4, well, we're going to find that out here. So it says here, sources have confirmed to the Hollywood Reporter that Netflix darling Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt will wrap the at conclusion of its 4th season, though there are talks of doing a movie after it's all done. Producers NBC Universal and streamer Netflix declined to comment, but the next batch of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt episodes, split into 2 parts, will be the last. Filming is only halfway complete on the run, delayed so that co-creator Tina Fey could launch her Tony-nominated Mean Girls musical on Broadway. So there's no chance of an abrupt end for the Emmy-favored comedy, well, which is good. Which is good that there's not going to be an abrupt end. But I still feel that the season was going to end with them wanting to go into a 5th season ultimately, and that the way that they had written it was that they couldn't probably wrap it up 100%. Like, will she eventually, will Dong come back into her life, and will she hook up with him? Which I do hope, by the way, because I always liked the character, and I felt they were good together in season 1. But what's going on with Titus and everything else? Like, are they going to be able to really kind of bring it all together for a proper conclusion? And who knows? That's probably why they're talking about doing this movie. It says here that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt has had an unlikely path. It was originally planned for NBC, the first post-30 Rock project for Tina Fey, but the studio and Netflix hammered out an unprecedented deal to move it over to the streamer ahead of the premiere. And again, that worked out really well for them. There's never been any indication of how well the show has performed among subscribers, but its previous 3 seasons have clocked up a total of 16 Emmy nominations. And ultimately, Netflix still wants the same kind of accolades and pats on the back that every other entity in Hollywood wants too. That's why they're at this point, they're kind of approaching the Cannes Film Festival. First, they kind of gave it the finger, and now they're like, maybe we made a mistake about this. Now, it says here that discussions of a potential wrap-up movie suggest that this is an ongoing conversation between the show and the streamer and not an abrupt move. It's not like Sense8, where Sense8 had its first 2 seasons, and then they announced a cancellation, and then fans were like, "Hurrah!" And they're like, oh, all right, we'll give you a wrap-up movie. Which is good. And I feel, and I've always said this too, if Netflix can provide fans a closure to a series that they've put out there, give them the ability to tell a wrap-up story, then that ultimately works out better. It shows that they're willing to, to end something, but to give you that finale, as to not leave it open-ended, because that type of constant heartbreak from shows being canceled actually impacts other people watching shows. They don't quickly take to them as much as they should, because they don't want to get invested into something that's going to be taken away from them. And that's how I've approached TV shows. I look to see whether or not it's been renewed for a 2nd season generally before I jump in. In most cases. Some cases I don't, but in most cases I do. In the case of Kimmy Schmidt, though, it's time for it to go. It was time for it to go in season 3. The show's premise, while funny, mole woman comes out of the ground, navigates New York, fish out of water comedy. It ran its course entirely. The side characters, like Titus is great, but they started doing more with the other ones, and it just became kind of the same tired old jokes over and over and over again, because Ellie Kemper, while I love her, she can't really lead a show. With The Office as Erin, she was great because she had all the other personalities to play off of. Here, they tried it with more of like the 30 Rock take, where it just became more and more goofy and screwball towards the end, and that starts to kind of remove the believability of it. Now, granted, it's a sitcom on Netflix about a mole woman who spent 15 years in a bunker by a cult leader essentially, and yeah, the premise is kind of dumb, but at the same time, it could still be kind of grounded in some reality. The Office was always grounded in reality, and it worked out well because of the personalities that went in there. Here, everyone's an over-the-top personality, and it kind of just, it lost me. So what I'm thinking is going on here is I'm thinking that Tina Fey realized that the writing was on the wall for the show. She realized this going into season 4. Of course, they were able to take a break due to the whole Mean Girls, Broadway show, which is apparently really good from what I'm hearing. But then again, I've also seen the movie 14 years ago, so there's that. But I think they saw that, they realized that, and they want to find a way to gracefully exit. And so finishing up season 4 and then working on a kind of a wrap-up film is the best course of action. The wrap-up movie would probably end up consisting of about 3 to 4 episodes, so half a season roughly, and then they'd be able to tie it up with all that. And that's fine with me. And knowing that a conclusion for Kimmy Schmidt is coming actually makes me happier as a fan, because we do get a proper conclusion. We are going to be able to not have an abrupt move that ends it on a cliffhanger, and maybe Kimmy will get the closeout that she deserves. But as far as the show goes itself, again, it's a fantastic show for what it's been able to accomplish, being one of the first shows brought over from television to Netflix, one of the first Netflix originals, so to speak, the popularity from it, the Emmy nominations. But everything does have an end date, and shows like this with a very interesting premise, if not handled properly and moving out into that more screwball territory, can end up kind of hurting it in the long run. But anyway, I do want to know what you guys have to think about this. Do you think that Kimmy Schmidt should continue going on? Does it have legs for 8 or 9 seasons? Should it wrap up now and just call it a day, or should it already have done that before? These are things I'm curious to know about. Be sure to let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe, follow me on social media, check back often for more content from me. In fact, if you want to watch more, you can do so right now.